Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Wellness Blueprints. I'm Jess Milner. I'm so glad you're here to nourish your roots with me today. And it is even closer to Christmas than it was last week when we talked about some holiday swaps, some things that we can swap out ingredients so that we're making our holiday choices a little bit healthier, but without like sacrificing the yum because we want the yum. Nobody needs to suffer in sadness with like parsnip mashed potatoes. Thank you for joining me on last week's holiday swaps. And this week, I'm going to talk a little bit about the holiday energy. Sometimes it's coming from family energy, and how really it's just a gift of transformation. And let me tell you a little bit about what I'm talking about there. I did say I'm Jess Milner. I am a master nutritionist, a functional blood work specialist, and quantum energy healer. We're going to kind of combine a little bit of those expertise. What's the word I'm looking for there? Oh, these things that I'm awesome at. We're going to combine those. Okay. Sometimes I like to make up new words. Expertise, I suppose. All right. So this time of year, you may be preparing to see some family members that you don't see all the time. And, when you're kind of in your own groove, you're doing your own thing, you can keep yourself at a certain level. You've got your emotions are doing great. Maybe you feel like you're doing really well. And then some old patterns can like start to emerge, and your emotions are already running high this time of year, especially if you're prepping for the holiday, and hopefully it's not too stressful for you or anything, because you want to enjoy the magic of the season, and the togetherness, and embrace the restfulness that the whole earth is really just calling you to have at this time of year. But there's just a certain level of stress and preparation and everything, so your emotions might be running a little bit higher. So you might be doing great, and then you kind of feel like, oh my gosh, these old patterns are starting to emerge or something, um we kind of fall back into roles. Everybody has a role in their family, and it's ever changing, but maybe you're the people pleaser, you're the responsible one, you're the peacemaker, maybe you're the troublemaker, I don't know, maybe you're the black sheep. It's okay. Black sheep is usually a pretty cool person, I gotta say. So but anyway, so these things can start to come back out. Okay. And, so we have, all of this inherited energy. I've been working with emotion code and body code for many years. I've been doing quantum energy healing. I've been doing these quantum frequency blueprints, and, the amount of energies that we really do carry around. You've heard of generational curses and stuff like that. We carry these things around. And, so inherited energy that you might have, your family members are going to be carrying that too. And what's really interesting, is when we are together, there's that 6 foot thing where they're like, oh, stay 6 feet apart during, the pandemic, because they didn't want like germs going out that far. That's how far like your heart is going out. You have this frequency that's permeating and it's all around you, swirling all around you, and it goes out about that far. So when you're 6 feet or closer, those things, your frequencies are communicating. So, it's going to kind of like wake up things, because you might have the same generational inherited energy as your sister, your mom, your dad, your cousin, whatever. And so it can kind of wake some things up, and it just kind of comes across in a way where like you just kind of feel triggered a little bit. I know that word is like really overused, but maybe you feel triggered, you're a little bit more irritable, you're kind of like, sometimes you're expecting things to be a certain way, so you're kind of like prepping for something that hasn't happened yet. But I also want to like just make sure you understand that some of these, so-called triggers can also be very happy things as well. Okay. So sometimes, you get together with certain family members and you feel very warm and you feel invited, and it's very comforting to be around them. Maybe you're talking about things, reminiscing about the past or what have you. So, it's not always like a negative thing that's going to come out when you are around your family members. So I just want to make sure everybody understands that. But it doesn't have to be like, all this bad stuff or anything like that. So, I do wish you joy and happiness with your families. Okay. So, we want to be able to stay connected, but, you also want to be able to remain your like breaking free. If you have been working through trying to handle situations differently, or, do things in a different way than you were used to or you were taught or something like that, you want to be able to keep some boundaries in place there. And, I mean, this isn't like, okay, like you need to leave at this certain time. I mean, if that's your jam, if you want somebody to leave at a certain time, um, but so I'm not really talking about that necessarily. If that's what you need to do, if you need to set like actual, like, more physical boundaries like that, then that's fine. But I'm talking about just like on the inside for yourself. So, in order to transform, which you really can take this time and use it as a transformation, observing is really one of the best things there. Just be aware, and you can even like create new patterns with it. So, rather than being argumentative or get, you can just kind of choose a different response. Like maybe just go, huh, that's interesting, and just sort of move on, and not have to like, fight about whatever it is that somebody might be going on. Sometimes it's they're bringing food that you don't want to feed your kids because it has ingredients in it that you have decided that you're not going to eat anymore, and that can be really difficult, especially if this is one of your first years, uh, trying to observe healthier swaps. That can be a difficult thing, for your family members to understand. They'll be like, oh, even at Christmas, you're not just going to cheat right now. Why aren't you just going to give them this and blah, 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 blah. And you may have like a whole, a plethora of reasons why you're not doing that. Maybe you're seeing a holistic practitioner, maybe you're seeing me. And I said, well, these are things that you're going to want to avoid because there's a sensitivity and it's going to stand in the way of true healing. So at least for during this, next 3 to 6 months, we're going to want to avoid those things so that, the program isn't tripped up. And that could be difficult this time of year. So I want you to know that I'm right there with you. I understand. I've been in your shoes, and, and I know how difficult that can be sometimes. So, I mean, I have the healthy holiday swaps, and I will give you the website that you can just go and grab a free guide that has all of it in there. Okay. And, you can, I mean, you can be a little bit of the change, with enjoying that. You can, if you're cooking, then, like, I mean, I'm hosting this year. So, all the food is going to be, approved and whatever, but if you're not cooking, if you're going somewhere else, sometimes you can like opt to bring a side dish, bring something. That's something I used to do when I would go to parties or something like that. I would go, okay, what can I bring that is going to be like hearty enough that, if there's nothing else there that I really want to eat or I really want my child to eat or something, that we have this, so, like I brought like to 4th of July parties and stuff, I would bring like a bean salad or something like that. But, it's a side dish and people are like, oh, this is so yummy. And I'm like, well, I know that all the ingredients in here are approved, for whatever dietary restrictions are going on. So there's a way that you can do a little bit of that. And, just you can keep a low profile about it. You don't necessarily have to be like, well, please accommodate to blah, 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 blah. A lot of the time you can just bring your own stuff, and just say, here, I brought this and everybody can have some, and just make sure that you have a good portion of it for whoever, needs to have that. And, just you can politely explain why you're avoiding something, or you can just go, let's just enjoy the evening. This is just how we're rolling and everybody's happy. So, I mean, you don't have to give reasons. You don't have to explain yourself unless you feel like you want to explain yourself. Okay. So, as far as, being the change, the change that you want to see in your generational curses, if you will, if you want to, if you want to be that change, enjoy yourself, honor where you came from, because even if you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I went through all this nonsense, in my younger years and blah, 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 everything's exactly as it should be at any given time. So don't, there's no reason to be, feel it all in your victimhood and like, oh, they did this and they did that and rah, rah, roo. It's okay to just release all of that and understand that you are where you are right now because this is where you need to be, and just go from there. And you can release, the need to control that. If you're feeling certain ways, maybe there are certain topics that you tend to butt heads with, whoever in the family over. If there's anything going on where you're kind of like going over a dialogue in your head, like how would I talk about this, that, and the other thing? Something that might really be helpful is to just, journal it down. Just you journal it all out, write it all down. You can say it out loud, like as you're writing it or whatever, and then it's out. It's on that journal paper, and then you put it away and you don't say those things. You don't say those things to the family members. You don't need to get into all of that. Just let it be released because, it's Christmas. Who cares? let's not make things worse, right? And I can say that by being somebody who used to like bring things up, specifically because like arguing was so fun. And now I know that arguing actually does release dopamine. So that's why some people, especially neurospicy people, have a tendency to enjoy arguing. So, let that go. That doesn't need to be a part of you, right? And so what are you ready to release? What kind of patterns are you just kind of like, okay, I'm going to sit, I'm going to breathe, I'm going to observe, and enjoy yourself and just sit there and be in gratitude, like, hey, look, all these people that are surrounding me. Or maybe you're thankful that like some people aren't coming to visit, and you're just like, okay, great, like we're going to be thankful that we are where we are right now. And go ahead and make new traditions and blend them with the old traditions. Maybe you're celebrating in a different way than you were brought up. I see that a lot. People switch religions, they switch traditions, they switch whatever it is. You can blend a little bit of old and new, embrace whatever it is that you want to do there. And yeah, just remember that this energy, it's there and it's a part of you, and it's okay, but it doesn't have to control everything, and neither do you. So being aware, being observant, and being present with your family, and focus on the blessings and the gratitude. Try not to focus on the arguments, on the problems with this, that, and the other thing. Maybe it's not the best time to talk about, whatever issues might be going on. Another day might be a better time to go through all those, especially if there's some kids around and stuff like that. And we don't want to like have big arguments or anything like that. Everybody's families are different with their dynamics and how everything goes. So, not everything is like it is on TV and in the movies, and that goes for the happy families and the sad families, because there's things portrayed all over the place. So everything is, you have your dynamic, and you have the power to transform that dynamic however you would like to. And other people may not want to transform, and that's okay. Because you can still do that. So you can still just sit and observe, and anything that's going on with somebody else does not need to be your issue. You don't need to take that in. You can just go, okay, that's very interesting, and choose to just observe it and just, okay, that's it. There isn't anything else that you need to do. You don't have to run to someone's aid. You don't have to have a long drawn out discussion if you don't want to. You don't have to hug family members that you don't want to, and neither do your kids. So what are you ready to release so that you can just truly sit and be happy and grateful that you get to celebrate this day, whatever day it is? We are a week away from Christmas and Hanukkah, and 2 weeks away from New Year's. And, what are you ready to transform? What are you ready to say goodbye to, so that you can step into 2025 with a whole new outlook, a whole new awareness, so that you can just have a better control over not just your emotions, but over your health and over your life, because you'll be trusting of your body, trusting of your energy, and trusting that everything that you're grateful for will continue to bless you. I hope that you are getting to the end of all of your prep, especially with it being out of the house. I hope that you've got all your shopping done. If you're doing shopping, I know lots of people like to do experience gifts instead. I support that. That's fantastic. But I hope that you're getting everything together and that you are really just enjoying the season. And I also wish that the giving spirit and everything could just go out through the entire year, because really it should. But we'll go ahead and take it for what it is right now, and enjoy this season with your loved ones. And I'm so glad that you stopped in, and I will be releasing an episode on Christmas Day and New Year's Day, so you can check those out whenever you're ready to. And I wish you all the best. And if you would like to grab my holiday swaps guide, okay, so that is going to be go.deeprootedwellnessid.com/healthy-holiday-swaps. And that is a free guide. It has everything that we went over last week in the podcast with, the swaps for the different foods. And it has my Christmas salad recipe and a couple of other recipes in there as well. So go ahead and grab that free download. And I hope that there's something very helpful in there for you. And I hope that this was helpful. And I can't wait to see what you're going to do with not just with this advice, but just with all of 2025. What are you going to do with it? I can't wait to hear about your transformation. So thanks for stopping by. Bye for now.